My position is kind of the same as one of the many capitalist societies. I see the big bosses of corporations who can get away with playing God because they have more money. And with this excessive money, they can control the government with bribery, a huge part of this argument, and bail themselves out if they get caught. So they have virtual immunity to justice. They tend to be tightwads and pay workers in their corporations pitiful sums for the honest effort and work they put into their projects. This is one of the bigger concerns of mine, exploitation of the working class. And I see the American government as a bunch of idiots taking orders from corporations and lobbyists instead of the people who should have the power. The American government has one of the largest, most militarily powerful arsenals, and it simply goes to war with the Middle Eastern countries over oil profits and supposed terrorism that a lot of people aren't even sure even exists. Furthermore, I see them as extremely wasteful in both capital and human resources, exploiting workers and spending money foolishly on stupid things, or fighting justice for the rich and powerful instead of the worker, the proletariat, who needs this justice. Furthermore, I don't believe that money is totally necessary. We go to war and rob and fight people over paper and cheap metal. It could just as effectively be replaced by ration vouchers and a barter economy system that allows all people to not only get the necessary materials to their survival, but also, for working hard and well, be rewarded by being able to get luxuries which can be traded or kept. I think the United States and West Canada are not all good or all bad either. I see them as having great potential and possibly future importance, but their leadership is what totally puts me off. I'm not a Stalinist, Marxist, Leninist, Maoist, Trotskyist, or other of the main communist streams. I primarily believe in a similar style of primitive communism, more sustainable economy, based on how much is being produced, the amount of food, metal, tools, and other resources being in direct relation to how much the people produce. Basically, seeing as everyone gets everything, if less is produced, less and less goes to everyone. Sure, they get less, but that is their motivation to keep working, along with being rewarded for what they do in luxuries. I also believe that money in this sense is worthless, only being really useful in foreign trade, and it's not necessary in truth. And for social services, with social services, everyone is entitled to have them for free. People produce for themselves, remember, and it's basically up to the people to look after their comrades. There being no main government body, taxes are non-existent, and payments could be a lump sum of, say, 10 pounds of beef to anyone who has a medical license. Public workers can be all hired by their own initiative on a sort of market, such as, help me set up a health clinic, I'll give you a week's worth of bread, or to help me set up a school, you pay a survival knife and X amount of beef. It would be foolish to call anything used by the USSR communism. It's really very cleverly disguised fascism. They said that a classless society was their goal, but instead consolidated their power and became evil emperors. This is real communism that I believe in. It kind of follows the principles of both true or perfect communism and so-called primitive communism. My foreign policies are a real interesting point. I believe in having a massive lead army that is to be used peacefully and defensively, but is still capable of an offensive war if such a situation ever arose that would need to be used. And in general, my opinion of Canada on the whole is that it's a great nation and has great potential in being extremely important in the future, but it's led by an old-fashioned moron-administered bureaucracy whereby the people are exploited to ensure political power. Did you know that last year, teachers in British Columbia walked out because of the government's oppression on their comrades? The government used its authoritarian, almost fascist methods to legislate rather than negotiate with the teachers. They made it illegal for teachers to strike more than 5 days, and I myself helped the teachers in their struggle. I believe that paying for services I believe that the situation for paying for services such as publishing, etc., would fall under public services. All services that are not related to production would fall under that category. Everything from cremation to healthcare to publishing to mail delivery. And stores selling the essentials would have ration books, meaning that for your book, I don't mail you a steak. I'll send you a ration ticket for that steak, provided I own one. In other words, cash it in for the ticket, or pay you with a rifle and some ammunition. I give it the rifle and the ammunition, and I send you the claim. You go to the store, and they send you your payment. So ration tickets or claim tickets are essentially money. So you send me the book's ration ticket, and I send something else's ration ticket as payment, everything having a value, which is determined by bartering. Again, for complete government, we have the people governing themselves. Once the people say, "So what now?" the nation comes up, everyone gives a vote. One vote is one vote, no blocks or real leaders, just every single person's honest opinion. Of course, the decision to build a bridge in a small town in Ontario would not be a national vote, just those who live in the town. To keep anarchy from ensuing, those who instigated the hypothetical revolution would remind the people that chaos and anarchy means destruction of the nation, and everyone has their duty to keep to their comrades in their motherland, just to produce and help each other attain a perfect society. As for natural laziness, I admit it, there is no way to combat that in total. And because of a few perceived flaws, there's no way of finding out if your brainchild will work without testing it. I realize I cannot create revolution myself. It is the people's job to do that. As for why I resent the Canadian government and I'm still involved in their military, it's because, one, it's all I'm really suited for, and two, at my level, there are no politics involved, just obeying the officer you're responsible to. You never see a member of parliament as a sergeant, only senior officers and generals deal with that. So whenever political matters involved, it's pretty much filtered out when the word because I'm just a piece of shit.